Taking aligned action and letting go. The secret to effortless success. Have you ever felt like the harder you try, the further your goals seem to slip away? You put in the work. You stress over every detail. You chase success, but instead of moving forward, you feel stuck, exhausted, and frustrated. It's as if life is resisting you at every turn. What if I told you that the secret isn't to push harder, but to let go? That the moment you release your grip on the outcome, things will start falling into place effortlessly? This isn't about giving up. It's about learning the art of taking aligned action, moving with purpose, but without desperation. The Stoics understood this well. They taught that true power comes not from controlling everything, but from focusing only on what is within your reach. Because here's the truth. Success isn't about forcing things. It's about trusting the process, taking the right steps, and then allowing life to unfold. The paradox of chasing. Why letting go brings you more. Have you ever felt like the harder you try, the further your goal seems to slip away? Like chasing a butterfly, every step you take, it flutters just out of reach. But the moment you stop, it lands gently on your shoulder. This is the paradox of chasing. The more desperately we grasp at something, the more elusive it becomes. Think about water in your hands. If you try to clutch it tightly, it escapes through your fingers. But if you keep your palm open, the water rests there, undisturbed. The same applies to success, love, happiness, whatever it is you're striving for. When you push too hard, you create resistance. When you force, you repel. A friend of mine, let's call him David, spent years chasing after financial success. He worked tirelessly, jumping from one opportunity to the next, obsessing over making it big. Every setback left him frustrated. Every delay felt like a personal failure. He was drowning in anxiety, believing that if he just worked harder, pushed more, he'd get what he wanted. But the breakthrough only came when he did something counterintuitive. He stopped chasing. Instead of fixating on the end goal, he focused on mastering his craft. He learned to enjoy the work itself. He stopped measuring progress by external validation and trusted that his efforts would compound over time. Slowly, opportunities began to appear. Clients sought him out. Money flowed in naturally, without the exhausting pursuit. The moment he let go, the very thing he wanted started coming to him effortlessly. This is where Stoic wisdom comes in. The philosopher Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." What does this mean in practice? It means we should focus on our efforts, not the results. We control our actions, our discipline, our attitude, but not the outcomes. The more we try to control what isn't ours to command, the more we suffer. So, how do you apply this in your own life? 1. Detach from the outcome. If you obsess over when success will come, you will live in frustration. Instead, commit fully to the process and let the results take care of themselves. 2. Recognize when you're forcing things. Ask yourself, am I moving with purpose? Or am I acting out of fear? Desperation pushes away what you seek. Confidence, rooted in steady effort, attracts. 3. Shift your mindset. Instead of saying, "I need this now," say, "I am becoming the person who naturally attracts this." This small shift frees you from the mental prison of anxiety. In the end, life rewards those who work with patience, not panic. The most powerful people you know, the ones who seem to have everything come to them effortlessly, aren't frantic. They move with certainty, not desperation. That's what makes them magnetic. So, the next time you find yourself chasing something, whether it's success, love, or happiness, pause, take a breath, trust the process. Because the moment you stop chasing is the moment life starts flowing toward you. Detaching from the outcome, the key to freedom and success. Imagine holding a handful of sand. The more you squeeze, the faster it slips through your fingers. But if you keep your palm open, the sand stays in place. This is how life works. The tighter you cling to an outcome, the more elusive it becomes. But when you let go, you create space for success to unfold naturally. We live in a world obsessed with results, promotions, relationships, financial milestones. People chase them relentlessly, believing that happiness is just one achievement away. But Stoic wisdom teaches us otherwise. The more you fixate on the end goal, The more you create resistance, you become impatient, anxious, and blind to opportunities. Take the story of Emily, a friend of mine. She was determined to land her dream job. She rehearsed for interviews obsessively, checked her email every hour, and attached her self-worth to a single outcome: getting that offer. But after weeks of waiting, rejection came. She was devastated. She had placed all her happiness in something beyond her control. Then, she made a shift. Instead of obsessing over the job, she focused on becoming the best version of herself, improving her skills, expanding her network, and embracing the process of growth. Within months, an unexpected opportunity appeared. A better position, one she hadn't even considered, landed in her lap. By letting go of rigid expectations, she created space for something greater. Epictetus once said, "Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that they happen as they do, and you will be happy." This is the essence of detachment. When you stop needing things to happen a certain way, you free yourself from suffering. So, how do you practice detachment in your own life? 1. Focus on your effort, not the result. Your job is to show up, do the work, and let go of what happens next. Whether it's a job application, a business venture, or a relationship, commit to the process, not the outcome. 2. Recognize what's in your control. You can control your actions, your attitude, and your discipline, but you cannot control timing, other people's choices, or external circumstances. The moment you surrender to this truth, you gain power. 3. Reframe failure. Instead of thinking, "I failed because I didn't get what I wanted," tell yourself, "This was a lesson, a redirection towards something better." Every setback is a teacher, if you let it be. Detaching from the outcome doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting that the right things will come at the right time. Look around. Those who move through life with ease, who always seem to be in the right place at the right time, are not frantic. They are grounded. They take action and trust the process. If you're gripping too tightly onto something right now, loosen your hold. Let go of the anxiety, the need for control, the desperate timeline. Ironically, the moment you detach is the moment you become most powerful. Because when you stop needing an outcome, you become free to create it. Mastering your mindset, the only control you truly have. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a storm. The wind howls, the rain pours, and everything around you is chaos. But inside a sturdy house, you're safe. No matter how violent the storm gets, it cannot shake you. Now, what if I told you that this house is your mind, and that no matter what happens outside, you have the power to keep your inner world calm, strong, and unshaken? This is what mastering your mindset means. It is understanding that while you cannot control the world, you can always control how you respond to it. Most people live as prisoners of their thoughts. They let every bad day, every rude comment, every unexpected setback dictate their emotions. One rejection, and they believe they're not good enough. One failure, and they think their dreams are over. But a Stoic knows better. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." In other words, your mind shapes your reality, not the other way around. Take John, for example, a talented entrepreneur. He spent years building a business. But when the market crashed, he lost everything. At first, he fell into despair, believing he was a failure. But then, he made a choice. Instead of seeing the loss as the end, he saw it as a lesson. He rebuilt, smarter this time. Within 3 years, he had a new, stronger business, one that never would have existed if he hadn't learned from failure. His circumstances didn't define him. His mindset did. So, how do you master your own mindset? 1. Become aware of your thoughts. Every day, your mind feeds you a constant stream of ideas. Are they thoughts that empower you? Or do they hold you back? Start noticing the patterns. If your mind is filled with doubt and fear, it's time to reprogram it. 2. Reframe challenges. Instead of saying, "This is too hard," tell yourself, "This is an opportunity to grow." Instead of thinking, "I failed," say, "I learned." Your interpretation of events matters more than the events themselves. 3. Control what you can. Release what you can't. If something is within your power, your habits, your effort, your discipline, focus on it fully. If something is outside of your control, other people, the past, random misfortunes, let it go. A mind consumed by what it cannot change is a mind that suffers needlessly. The truth is, life will test you. You will face setbacks, criticism, unfairness, but none of these things have the power to break you, unless you let them. When you master your mindset, you become like that house in the storm. The winds may howl, but inside, you remain unmoved. So, take a moment and ask yourself, who is in control of your mind, you or the world? Because the answer to that question will define everything. Trusting in divine timing. The strength in patience. Think of a seed planted in the ground. No matter how much you water it, no matter how often you check on it, you cannot force it to sprout before its time. It will grow when it is ready, when the soil, the sun and the seasons align. Life works the same way. The things you want, success, love, opportunities, will come, but only when the timing is right. Yet, we resist this truth. We rush, we push, we grow frustrated when things don't happen on our schedule. We believe that if something isn't happening now, it never will. But this impatience is an illusion. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus once said, "No great thing is created suddenly. Anything of real value, whether it's personal growth, a thriving career, or a strong relationship, takes time." I once knew a man named Daniel who spent years chasing a promotion. He worked long hours, sacrificed weekends, and constantly compared himself to others. Every time he was passed over, he grew more bitter, believing life was unfair. Then, something happened. Instead of forcing an outcome, he shifted his focus. He improved his skills, strengthened his leadership, and let go of the need to control when his success would arrive. And when the right time came, an even better opportunity landed in his lap, one that wouldn't have been possible had he gotten the promotion earlier. What felt like rejection was simply redirection. So, how do we learn to trust in divine timing? 1. Stop trying to force things to happen. You cannot control when or how opportunities appear. You can only control how prepared you are when they do. Shift your focus from when to who you are becoming, what you are building. 2. Recognize that delays are not denials. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. Many of life's greatest gifts come when we least expect them, not when we demand them. 3. Embrace the waiting as a time of growth. Instead of seeing delays as obstacles, see them as preparation. The time you spend waiting is time you can use to sharpen your skills, deepen your wisdom, and strengthen your character. In the end, life is not a race. It is not a competition to see who can reach the finish line first. The right things will come when they are meant to, not a moment sooner. And when they do, you'll realize the waiting was never a punishment, it was part of the process. So, take a breath. Let go of the need to rush. Trust that what is meant for you will find you, not in your time, but in its own. Acting with purpose, not desperation. The power of calm determination. Picture a drowning man. He thrashes, panics, and gasps for air, but the more he struggles, the faster he sinks. Now, imagine another man in the same water, but instead of fighting, he remains calm. He floats, he conserves his energy, and in doing so, he survives. This is the difference between acting with purpose and acting out of desperation. Desperation is frantic, chaotic, and rooted in fear. Purpose is steady, focused, and built on inner confidence. In life, we often confuse movement with progress. We chase opportunities, jump from one idea to the next, and force things to happen, believing that if we just push hard enough, success will come. But the truth is, when you act from a place of scarcity and panic, you only create more chaos. I once knew a man named James. He was desperate for success. Every day, he scrambled to find new clients, changed his strategy constantly, and exhausted himself trying to make quick money. But no matter how much he chased, nothing seemed to work. His desperation repelled people. It wasn't until he stepped back, clarified his goals, and moved with quiet confidence that things began to shift. He focused on delivering value, building relationships, and trusting the process. Soon, clients came to him, effortlessly. The moment he stopped chasing was the moment success started flowing toward him. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." In other words, before you act, you must first know why you're acting. Desperate action is blind, purposeful action is precise. So how do you ensure that you're acting with purpose? Not panic? 1. Get clear on who you want to become. Before taking action, ask yourself, am I moving toward a vision or just running from fear? The most successful people don't act out of desperation. They act because they know where they're going. 2. Trust the process. Desperate people want instant results. Purposeful people understand that great things take time. If you plant a seed today, you don't dig it up tomorrow to see if it's growing. You nurture it, trust it, and let time do its work. 3. Move with quiet confidence. When you act from a place of calm certainty, people sense it. They're drawn to those who trust themselves. Desperation repels. Confidence attracts. At the end of the day, true power comes from knowing that you don't need to force anything. What is meant for you will come, not because you chase it frantically, but because you are ready for it. So, take a breath, move with purpose, trust that the right things will come at the right time. Because the moment you stop acting out of fear is the moment life starts working with you, not against you. Letting go of control. The path to true freedom. Imagine standing at the edge of the ocean, gripping a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips through your fingers. But if you loosen your grip, the sand stays, resting effortlessly in your palm. This is how control works. The more you cling to it, the more it escapes you. We spend so much of our lives trying to control everything, our careers, relationships, even the way people perceive us. But the truth is, most of it is beyond our power. The weather, the economy, the actions of others, these things move according to their own rhythm, indifferent to our demands, and yet, we exhaust ourselves trying to force outcomes that are not ours to dictate. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, understood this deeply. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In other words, true control comes not from managing the world, but from mastering your response to it. Take Olivia, for example. She was a perfectionist who tried to micromanage every detail of her life. She planned everything, her career path, her relationships, even the smallest social interactions. But when things didn't go according to plan, she felt anxious, frustrated, and lost. Life, it seemed, refused to follow her script. One day, a mentor gave her a simple challenge. What if, for 1 month, you focused only on what you could control? She took the advice seriously. Instead of stressing over how others would react to her decisions, she focused on making the best choices for herself. Instead of fearing setbacks, she focused on learning from them. Slowly, something shifted. She found peace, not because life became predictable, but because she stopped demanding that it be. So how do you let go of control in your own life? 1. Recognize what's truly in your power. You can control your actions, your thoughts, and your attitude. Everything else, external circumstances, other people's opinions, the timing of events, is outside your hands. Accepting this distinction is the first step to peace. 2. Reframe uncertainty as opportunity. Instead of seeing unpredictability as a threat, see it as an open door. Many of life's greatest moments come from things we never planned. When you release your grip on control, you make space for possibilities you never imagined. 3. Practice radical acceptance. This doesn't mean giving up. It means fully engaging with life as it is, not as you wish it to be. It means saying, "This is what's happening right now. How will I respond?" Instead of fighting reality, work with it. Letting go of control doesn't make you powerless. It makes you stronger. Because when you stop wasting energy on the uncontrollable, you can pour all of it into what truly matters, your growth, your discipline, your ability to adapt. So, take a breath, loosen your grip. The moment you stop trying to control everything is the moment you gain true freedom. Embodying abundance, the wealth you already possess. Imagine holding a full glass of water. If you focus only on how much more you could pour in, you miss the fact that your cup is already full. This is how most people live, obsessed with what they lack, blind to what they already have. Society teaches us to chase more money, more success, more validation. But the more we chase, the more we feel we are missing something. The truth is, abundance isn't something you acquire, it's something you embody. It's not measured by what you have but by your ability to see and appreciate what is already yours. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." In other words, true wealth is a mindset, not a bank balance. Take Michael, for example. He spent years believing he wasn't successful enough. Despite having a good job, a healthy body, and supportive friends, he felt empty. He told himself, "I'll be happy when I make more money, when I buy the house, when I reach the next level." But no matter how much he achieved, it was never enough. Then, he made a shift. Instead of focusing on what was missing, he focused on what was present. He started practicing gratitude, acknowledging small daily blessings, from his morning coffee to the opportunities he already had. And something remarkable happened. The more he appreciated what he had, the more abundance seemed to flow into his life. He became more confident, more open, more at peace. Opportunities that once felt out of reach started appearing effortlessly. So, how do you embody abundance in your own life? 1. Shift from scarcity to gratitude. Instead of thinking, "I don't have enough," remind yourself, "I already have so much." Every morning, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. 2. Stop measuring wealth by external standards. Your success isn't defined by how much you own but by how little you need to feel content. The person who needs less is richer than the one who constantly craves more. 3. Act as if you already have enough. Desperation repels, but confidence attracts. When you believe you are already abundant, you stop chasing, and what you desire naturally gravitates toward you. The irony of abundance is this: the moment you stop believing you lack something is the moment you start receiving more. When you stop needing more to feel fulfilled, you free yourself from the endless cycle of craving. So, take a deep breath, look around. Your life is already rich, if you choose to see it. And when you embrace this truth, you unlock the greatest wealth of all: a mind that is never in need. Taking aligned action and letting go. Moving with purpose, not attachment. Imagine an archer. He pulls back the bow, focuses on the target, and releases. At that moment, he has done everything within his control. Whether the arrow hits the bullseye or not is no longer up to him. It is in the hands of the wind. The conditions, the unseen forces at play. A skilled archer understands this. He doesn't chase the arrow after releasing it. He takes the shot, then lets go. This is how life works. We take action, we make decisions, we put in effort, but the outcome is never fully in our hands. And yet, most people live as if they can control every result. They obsess, overthink, and attach their happiness to an outcome that is, by nature, uncertain. But the Stoics knew better. Epictetus said, "Do what you must, and let happen what may." In other words, focus on what you can control, your actions, your discipline, your integrity, and release the rest. Because true power lies in the ability to take action without being ruled by its result. Consider Rachel, a woman I once knew. She was building a business, pouring her energy into every detail, anxiously watching for signs of success. Every slow month filled her with doubt. Every small setback felt like a personal failure. Then, she changed her approach. Instead of obsessing over the outcome, she committed to the process, showing up, improving, delivering value. She let go of the need for immediate results. And ironically, that's when success found her. When she stopped chasing, she started attracting. So, how do you take aligned action and let go? 1. Set your aim. Then trust the process. Like the archer, prepare, practice, and take your shot. But once you release the arrow, don't waste energy worrying about its path. Your job is the action, not the outcome. 2. Detach from the need for instant results. If you plant a tree today, you don't dig it up tomorrow to check if it's growing. Trust that time and effort will bring the right results when they are meant to come. 3. Move with purpose, not desperation. When you take action from a place of trust, you radiate confidence. When you act from fear, you repel what you seek. The universe responds not to frantic energy, but to calm certainty. The paradox of life is this: the moment you stop grasping for control is the moment things start to align. When you stop forcing outcomes, you allow the right ones to unfold naturally. So, take the shot, do the work, then step back, and trust, because the most powerful people are not those who cling, but those who know when to release. Letting go is the final step to moving forward. You've done the work, you've taken the shot, now, it's time to let go. Trust that your efforts will bear fruit in the right time, in the right way. Clinging to control only creates stress, releasing it creates freedom. If this message resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What's one thing you're ready to stop forcing? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're ready to live with more clarity, confidence, and purpose, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. There's more to learn, more to grow into, and I'll be here to guide you every step of the way. Now, take a deep breath, and trust that what's meant for you is already on its way.